After the wildfire destroyed everything, my dad said I could stay with him. He said, "That dog can't stay here." I chose to stay with my dog. 3 days later, he was begging me to stop. The evacuation alert came at noon, and I had 10 minutes to grab what mattered. There was smoke everywhere, and the sky was orange. My dog Bear was hiding under my desk, shaking so hard his legs were twitching. I grabbed him with one hand and threw clothes in a bag with the other as the lights flickered. When I opened the front door, the heat hit my face like I'd opened an oven. We ran to the car, and I drove for over an hour while watching the orange glow in my rearview mirror swallow everything behind me. When the sky finally looked normal, I pulled over at a gas station and sat there trying to breathe. My hands were shaking so bad, I could barely hold my phone as I called my dad. He picked up on the first ring. "Are you okay?" he said. "I saw it on the news." I told him I got out, but I didn't know if my house made it. He said, "It's going to be okay. Come stay here as long as you need." I actually felt my chest unclench. For the first time in 2 hours, I felt like maybe things would be okay. I drove 5 hours to my parents' house with Bear asleep in the back seat. When I finally pulled into their driveway, it was almost midnight. I grabbed Bear and my bag and walked up to the front door. My dad opened it before I could knock. He looked at me, then down at Bear, and his face changed. "What is that?" I said it was my dog. He sighed. "You can't bring that in here." I actually laughed because I thought he had to be joking. "Dad, what are you talking about? My house just burned down." He crossed his arms. "Your mother doesn't like dogs. You know that. Dogs shed everywhere and they smell." Bear was leaning against my leg and I could feel him shaking. "Where exactly do you want me to take him then?" My dad's voice went cold. "That's not my problem. You can stay here, but that dog needs to go somewhere else. Figure it out and then come back." I told him to forget it and walked back to my car. I ended up sleeping in the parking lot of a closed grocery store that night with Bear curled up next to me. The next morning I tried calling shelters, but they were all full from the evacuations, and all of the hotels wanted pet deposits I couldn't afford. I was sitting in a coffee shop parking lot trying to figure out what to do when my phone buzzed with an email about an overdue payment on an account I didn't recognize. I opened it and saw my name and a loan balance of $30,000. My stomach flipped. I pulled up my credit report and there were 5 loans I had never opened. All of them had missed payments, tanking my score. I called the bank and the woman asked for my address to verify my identity. I gave her mine and she said, "That's not what we have on file." She read me my parents' address. I called my dad immediately. He picked up and said, "So have you figured out what to do with that dog yet?" I cut him off. "Did you take out loans in my name?" He went quiet, then said, "Let's not do this over the phone. Come over and we'll talk about it." I told him I wasn't coming to his house and he needed to answer me right now. "It's complicated," he said. "We hit a rough patch a few years ago and needed some help. We were going to pay everything back before you even noticed." I felt sick. "You stole $40,000 from me, destroyed my credit, and won't let my dog stay at your house?" He actually laughed. "You're always so dramatic. Don't try to make this about the dog. We're your parents and we needed help." I said, "Cool. Explain that to the cops," and hung up. I filed the police report an hour later. 3 days later, a lawyer called on his behalf. "If you drop everything, your father will pay back a portion of what was borrowed." I laughed out loud. "A portion? He stole over $40,000. She said, "If you pursue this, your parents will lose their home. Is that really what you want?" I said, "Sounds perfect actually," and hung up. The court date was 2 weeks later. The judge looked at the signatures for maybe 30 seconds before looking up at my dad. "These signatures are obviously fake. Do you have anything to say?" My dad tried his sob story about financial problems, but the judge cut him off. "You committed identity theft and fraud against your own child. This is a felony." My mom burst into tears. My dad stared at the table like he was the victim. My credit got fixed in 6 weeks once the judge ruled the loans were fraud. My parents had to sell their house to pay back the banks. Suddenly, my mom wasn't worried about dog hair when she texted me asking if they could move in with me. I didn't bother responding.